young. Vikram Batra would have been in his early 20s. Grenadier Yogendra Singh Yadav was all of 19 years old when he stormed those heights at Kargil and threw out the Pakistani intruders, taking so many bullets on his body. And who can forget Rifleman Sanjay Kumar? So all these heroes of modern India, and then there were Mahavir Chakras. And I remember one of them was my senior in the academy, Major Padmapani Acharya of 2nd Battalion, the Rajputana Rifles. A word for this unit. While all the units played a stellar role, they played a fantastic role. But for special mention, I would like to name 2nd Battalion, the Rajputana Rifles. When there is one officer casualty in a unit, it really shakes up the unit. And I can tell you this as a veteran, as a former officer of the Indian Army, even if there is one casualty in a unit, it shakes the unit, and especially if it's an officer casualty, because this is an officer-led army. It was 2nd Rajrif that lost half its officers.
Yes.
Half its officers. And these youngsters actually stormed the heights of Kargil at pitch black nights, 14,000 to 17,000, 18,000 feet above sea level, minus 20, minus 25 degrees. They were going blind. They were going absolutely blind because there was nothing to see except for the tracer bullets fired by the enemy and except for the shelling of the enemy. And yet they continued. There is this immense sense of self-belief that their stories, bring to us. And this immense sense of doing something for the country. When you tell a 21-year-old that he's going to be defending India, then it takes him to a different level altogether. And this is something that we must not forget today, Samiksha.
Well, absolutely. Major Gaurav Arya, we have Gursimran and Zeenat also joining us live from Jammu and Kargil. If you could talk to them about, how the nation is celebrating, particularly in Jammu and Kargil, how the day is being celebrated.
Zeenat, good morning. You are at Veer Dham. You are at Veer Bhumi. And I would like to ask you, Zeenat, what is happening in Kargil exactly? What is happening? I'm sure the army is there. Of course, the army is there. And there would be people around, tourists around. What is the mood in Kargil?
Gaurav, I'll ask my VJ for those to show you the visuals from the Dras War Memorial, where the events will begin in some time from now, but we are witnessing the guests have almost arrived. We are seeing also the GOC Mountain Dew has arrived, Major General Nagendra Singh. Then we are also witnessing the people, the officers from the Air Force, the various dignitaries are here, and the wreath ceremony will begin in some time from now. Although Dras as well as Kargil is witnessing events for the last 3 days continuously. In the morning, we also witnessed a bike rally coming from all the way from Ladakh to Dras Memorial to pay the war heroes. Are standing at the heroes, the Kargil heroes, and also the Kargil martyrs who lost their life while defending the country. India lost more than 700 soldiers in this 3 months war, but Pakistan suffered a huge setback because more than in thousands the dead body on the ground when India was attacking, Indian soldiers were attacking the Pakistan intruders. Although earlier the Pakistan said that they are not, it's a terrorist attack, but later on, many of them that yes, they are the people from the Pakistan army, and it was the brain behind the brain of Parvez Musharraf was behind this 1999 Kargil war. Although this was a small, it was fought in a very small duration, but it is remembered because those days the Pakistan has chosen the heights of the Kargil, so that way strategically they were having the important locations, and when the Indian soldiers, it was becoming difficult for them to climb or to carry their supplies and other ammunition. So despite everything, they were able to reclaim all those posts. They recaptured all those posts which were taken by the Pakistani army. We have witnessed, whether we talk about the Battle of Tololing, we talk about the Batalik, Kaksar, or we say these are the peaks, as my VJ for those who showing you that yes, these are those peaks where the war was fought for almost 3 months. And we all know, Gaurav, you come from the same army, that how difficult it is for the Indian army then to for this kind of war when you have the The temperature, the weather was bigger enemy, the Pakistani intruders were enemy, the kind of arms and ammunitions they were carrying, but despite everything, their bodies were packed in the bags. They were evicted from the Indian soil, and today is a day when the Indian Army, the Air Force, the locals, the tourists, everybody has come together to pay homage to all those brave hearts who gave their life while defending motherland India.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Zeenat. I'll go to my colleague Gursimran, who's in Jammu right now. And Jammu holds a very special place, Gursimran. Before I ask you my question, I'll tell you, all our viewers, Jammu holds a very, very special place in India for the simple reason that I don't think there is any family, any house from which there isn't a soldier. Jammu has a long history of people serving in the Indian Army. So, Gursimran, what's the mood like in Jammu, and how are people of Jammu celebrating? How's the Army celebrating? How's the Air Force celebrating, Gursimran?
Yeah, good morning, Vijay, and you have rightly mentioned that Jammu has a saga of sacrifices that the people and the brave hearts from the Jammu region have made. Right now, we are at the Balidan Stamp, and I'll request Sarjeevan to show you the visuals. These brave hearts of the Indian Army, they have lined up to pay tribute to the valor of the Indian Army that the brave hearts have shown in 1999 by recapturing those heights.
I think we have lost Gursimran there. I'd like to go back to Zeenat. I'll go to Zeenat now, and so Zeenat, you mentioned about Kargil, and you very rightly brought out how difficult it is to fight in such situations. I'd just like to tell the viewers that do you see the mountains behind Zeenat? It was these mountains that the Pakistani army had occupied, and in front of Zeenat there is a Highway 1 Alpha. What the Pakistanis were trying to do is cut off Highway 1 Alpha to isolate Siachen Glacier. That was the plan, and they kept on firing. They did not allow any vehicular movement to take place, any troop movement to take place on this road. And this is what the Pakistanis thought, that, you know, by occupying these heights at Kargil, in the Dras region, they would cut off lines of communication and supply of the Indian Army and ensure that Siachen was isolated. And like Zeenat very rightly brought out, this was the brainchild of General Parvez Musharraf. He had twice before given this plan. He had twice before given this plan to Benazir Bhutto and once to the Director General Military Operations of Pakistan. But it was shot down by various people. But when he became the army chief, this was his pet project, because as the legend goes, in 1984, when India took Siachen Glacier away from the Pakistanis, there was a rush to get to Siachen, and we reached Siachen Glacier first. And it was at that time a very young Captain Sanjay Kulkarni from 4 Kumaon Regiment who planted the tricolour on Siachen Glacier. Until then, India has been on Siachen Glacier. Pakistan does not occupy 1 inch of Siachen Glacier. There was a brigadier there, a Pakistani brigadier, who felt absolutely humiliated by this, and that brigadier's name was Brigadier Parvez Musharraf. When he became Chief of Army Staff of the Pakistan Army, he launched this operation to retake Siachen, which he could not. Zeenat, I'll quickly ask you a question, and then I'll go to my colleague Gursimran here. So, Zeenat, you're saying that the GOC of the Mountain Dew is going to come very shortly, and the program of paying remembrance, wreath laying, and respects to the martyrs and those brave hearts who fought in the Kargil war will start. Do you see any families? Do you see Veer Naris? Do you see any families of those who laid down their lives, or people who fought in the Kargil war? Do you see them also there?
Gaurav, Gaurav, as far as GOC Mountain Dew is concerned, he's already here. He has already reached while back. Then we see the Veer Naris and also the families of the martyrs. Even the war veterans are here, who are here to pay the homage, to the respect to the Kargil heroes and also the fallen soldiers. Meanwhile, I'll ask my Vijay to show you the peaks to our viewers, that these are the peaks where they fought the war in 1999. In fact, they are the peaks. This is a Tolo Link range, and it takes you even to the Batalik in Kargil and also Kaksar. This is the entire sector that was involved in 1990 war. If I ask my Vijay to show you the Tiger Hill, that is where Captain Batra fluttered tricolor in the air, and he said this slogan that the Dil Mange More, which is still being remembered by everybody in the country, that he was looking for more. And then if you talk about the other heroes who laid their life while defending country, the way they fought bravely, and these intruders, they were evicted from the soil, because this was one of the fierce battle. And if we cannot forget the contribution not only of the soldiers, but yes, Bofors played a bigger role when it comes to the Kargil war. It was a game changer, because Bofors were used to evict the Pakistani soldiers, because these Pakistani army men, they had captured the heights, the vacant post, which was completely against the agreement. When the locals observed the suspicious movements, because let's talk about the Ladakh scouts, they also played a bigger role when it comes dealing with the Pakistani intruders, the locals who received the information, and particularly they also observed the suspicious movement, and then they informed the army that they have observed. Because earlier one of the porter of the Indian Army, he recovered 2 of the cigarette packets made in Pakistan, and he went to the CEO and said that this is what he has found in the Mashku Valley. And then the operation was even launched in the Mashku, because he was the first person, Yash Mohammed, who observed the suspicious movement of the Pakistan intruders after recovering 2 packets of made in Pakistan cigarettes. And that gives an indication that the Pakistan army was planning their move from everywhere, and the only aim was also that, because this is the entire Dras sector, so Dras, Kargil and Ladakh, that takes you then to the Siachen, to cut the supplies and to get the control of the Siachen. So that was a bigger plan of the Pakistan, but before they could do anything, they were evicted and they were killed. Their bodies were in the back.
Absolutely, Zeenat.
In the army as well as the Air Force. Let's talk about the operation of Safed Sagar that was launched by the Air Force in 1999.
Yes. Zeenat, there's a very special program on our viewers. Gursimran, I'd request you to stay with us. Viewers, yesterday I had the honor and privilege of interviewing and speaking to a war hero of Kargil. You know, I joined Officers Training Academy in 1993. And at that time, there was a young, handsome, dashing officer who was the adjutant of the Officers Training Academy in Madras. It used to be Madras those days. It later became Chennai. This officer was the one who was responsible for the discipline in the academy. This officer is a war hero. He was the one who trained us. I thank him again on behalf of SS 57, my course. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Colonel Lalit Rai, Veer Chakra. Jai Hind, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to this special program on the occasion of Kargil Vijay Diwas. Today I have a hero from the Kargil War. And before I ask him the first question, let me tell you that the officer that you can see in the frame is Colonel Lalit Rai, Veer Chakra. And when I was a young cadet in the academy, he was the adjutant of the academy. Sir, a very warm welcome to our show, and thank you on behalf of SS 57, sir. You made men out of boys.
Thank you, Gaurav. It was a pleasure and a privilege.
So my first question to you is, sir, we've all read the citation for your Veer Chakra, sir. But I want to know the emotion behind the citation. What exactly happened on those hills of Kargil? What exactly happened, sir? Your unit is an iconic unit, one Paramveer Chakra, one Ashok Chakra, sir. And many, many such gallantry awards. But what happened, sir?
Well, you're talking about my citation. I think the biggest citation that I would have got is the endorsement I would have got from my boys who fought with me in war. More than the citation and the Veer Chakra. It was firstly a great privilege to lead such a fantastic battalion like the 1st 11 Gurkha Rifles. It's a great privilege. And my father also served, and he was also commissioned into the same battalion. That's the best and the beauty of it all. However, I took over the command of the battalion when the war was already on. And for me, it was a huge challenge because I was commanding 17 Rashtriya Rifles, which is a counter-terrorist operation-oriented unit. And the colonel of the regiment offered this battalion because the previous commanding officer had already proceeded on premature retirement. And there was only twice he was officiating as the commanding officer, and the battalion was in the thick of battle. So I quickly took up this challenge. And you can imagine to lead in battle. I mean, the boys don't know me because I've not served in the battalion. The JCS don't know me. The officers don't know me. I don't know the terrain. I don't know what is the situation because I'm just being lifted in a helicopter within 24 hours from the counter-terrorist operations into the conventional war over here. And there was so many of the information was totally ambiguous over there. The situation was ambiguous. So for me, it was a huge, huge challenge with so much of mixed feeling and, apprehensions. At the same time, Josh, that privilege of commanding the battalions. But one thing I knew, to command a Gurkha battalion in war is everyone's dream. And with that absolute confidence, I led the battalion. And I would say it was a culmination of all these activities, the command. And of course, when I took over the command on 2nd of June, my plan was on 2nd of July. I got this to crawl, meet all my guys, go to the faraway post, show my face and tell them I am the commanding officer and I will be leading you into battle. And we don't have to worry, we will do it together. And things like that, to bring up the josh and the camaraderie amongst all my boys. I did that for 1 month. And within 1 month, we launched this attack on Kalubar top. On that absolute cold night of 2nd July, I can never forget that. With two of my companies leading. And because my company commanders, that was Bravo and Charlie company, Major Christopher Correa and that time Major Ajay Tomar, excellent company commanders. And because of the good work done by these company commanders and the young officers who were there with them and all the troops, I suppose being the commanding officer, it was my privilege and it was my good fortune that I got a good command and we succeeded in the battle. So hence, that explains the award that I got.
First hand about the legend of Captain Manoj Pandey, because we have heard so much, we have seen references in movies, we have read the citation. What was he like and what exactly did he do, sir? We know, but I know, sir, I have read that, I have studied that, but the Battle of Kalubar Top and other things also, sir. This entire legend of Captain Manoj Pandey, what was it about, sir?
See, that's why they say, I still remember in the drill square when I was a cadet, Gaurav, our Ustad used to say, when we made a mistake, of course, he used to jokingly say it, but it almost amounted to the same thing. He used to say, Hira dur se hi chamakta hai. He caught you there, So that is such a absolutely correct statement because someone who's honar, you can actually spot him from far away. And Manoj Pandey was one such young officer. Physically, he was not very tall. He must have been around 5'5" or so. But he really walks tall amongst us as far as courage, valor, sense of responsibility, maturity is concerned. Now, this young boy, when I joined the battalion, he had already been into a part of an operation. In Jubar Hills, where the 70 Brigade had launched one attack along with the other battalions like Garhwal and Jatalai and one Bihar, Alpha Company was sent with this young officer to help these people for this attack because their troops were not adequate. So they had taken few companies from our brigade also and from my battalion, Alpha Company. Manoj Pandey was there. And in the Jubar attack, he very successfully managed to sort of make a firm base for the further attacks. But of course, that attack did not succeed and, because of so many other reasons. That's another point. But he had completed his task. And from there, then he was brought back to the battalion. So when I came, he was part of the company with the Bravo company with Christopher Correa. And he was the platoon commander. And I remember that night, that fateful night, moonlit night, when we were chopping our way up. The fire was so intense. I'm telling you, this there was ripping everything left and right of me over there. I'm seeing my boys falling down and can't do anything about it. We had to keep on moving up steadily. Stopping would have been absolute disaster, because when you're under fire and you stop, then you tend to stay there. So I was exhorting my boys. Every of my officers were also exhorting. In between, we were saying Jai Mahakali, Aya Gurkhali, and we were moving up. But these youngsters, I tell you, they were a delight. Some people said that the youngsters, they fought the battle well and thing. I said not well, they did extremely well. So at one point of time, when we were absolutely pinned down because of extreme amount of fire that was coming from Kalubar top and bunker area, which was slightly below that area of Kalubar top, there was a crossfire. And in the absolutely murderous crossfire, we were caught. And now I was in a huge dilemma being the commanding officer when we were around 600 yards short of the objective. What do I do? Do I proceed ahead? If I do that, if all of us get killed, tomorrow history is going to be very unforgiving and people will point fingers and say, useless fellow. He was an idiot. He got himself killed and he got his full command killed. Do I stop? If I stop again, tomorrow in history people will point out and say, what a stupid man. Had he just pushed ahead, he would have done it. But why did he have to stop? Because of that, a good opportunity went by. So, either way you buy, and the tremendous responsibility on your shoulders, it's really killing. But at the same time, it is very empowering too, when you realize that there's so much at stake. It's not only your regiment, it's not only your army, it's the nation. Because tomorrow we are beaten back, they'll say Hindustan ki fauj, ka humne ye kiya. So Captain Manoj Pandey was very close to me. There was so much of bombardment. They were helter-skelter. I was out of communication from both my company commanders. I caught hold of Pandey and I said, there are 4 bunkers which are onto our left, which is creating mayhem over here. While with the rest of the people, I proceed up, you proceed this side and make sure you finish these bunkers. This young officer, without a second thought, he said, yes, sir. He collected about 34 boys of his from the platoon and they proceeded up. What I learned later was, when he went up, it was not 4 bunkers, there were 6 bunkers. There were 2 more echelon behind. And all having those deadly machine guns and that AD gun, 14.7 mm,
Sure.
firing 1,000 rounds a minute. It was deadly. And at night, believe me, Gaurav, I still get nightmares. Those tracer bullets coming out of those AD guns, tracer type of bullets, and from the machine guns, from the MMGs over there, it's screaming and coming like this at you, and you can feel that hot air pocket of that bullet going past you, and your sides of your jackets are getting torn to shreds because of the fire that's coming. It was a terrible nightmare. So Manoj Pandey went up. When he saw the other 2 bunkers, which are slightly echelon behind, he asked Havaldar B.V. Dewan to go and finish those bunkers. And Havaldar B.V. Dewan, very, very brave guy with a lot of guts and initiative, he charged those bunkers head on, because there was no time to spare. They were spewing death from that place. He managed to finish those 2 bunkers, but in the bargain, he also got a spray of bullets and he got killed in his action over there. A brave way to go. Captain Manoj Pandey, with fire and move tactics, what he did was they managed to throw grenades through the loopholes by crawling under the machine guns, and they finished 3 of those bunkers. The 4th one was still firing. And by this time, he had got some bullets and he was bleeding from his side. And the boys told him, sir, forget it now, you rest, we will do it for you. But this is where, is the difference between a real person, that sense of responsibility, that sense of duty. He said, the commanding officer has given me the privilege of commanding you guys and taking this. So it will be my proud privilege that I take part in the last one to finish it and then give my victory sign to the commanding officer. Mission accomplished and operation, code word Kukri, that was the success signal. And he went there, he crawled close by, but when he got up, took out the grenade and threw it, his reaction, his reflex action was very slow because he had lost a lot of blood. He was weak, hungry, and very cold, I suppose he must have been very weak by that time because of loss of blood. The Pakis saw it and they fired, I think, a burst of 4 rounds that went and hit him straight through the helmet. I saw that helmet, through the helmet, and absolutely blasted his his head off, skull off. And he fell down dead. But just when the impact happened, some of my boys tell me he shouted out, "No chodno," and then he collapsed. No chodno means don't leave them.
Don't leave
Even till the last, dying breath, look at this boy, he had that fighting spirit. He said, "No chodno." And our boys took out the kukris, the grenade found the mark, but everyone was not killed. So they took out his kukris and started slaughtering these guys, and the complete bunker area was captured. And had it not been for a singular act of valor, bravery, responsibility, and all these, I don't think, we would have been able to do what we did later on. So I think
Absolutely.
The only sad part is, he got the Paramveer Chakra. The only sad part is it was posthumous. I really wish that boy was alive. I have great respect for him and his valor.
So my last question to you, sir, is, we have heard so many stories about Gurkha valor and Gurkha pride and the long list of awards and recognition which various Gurkha battalions have, earned for hundreds of years, not just in Kargil, but hundreds of years. My question is, sir, the famous Khukri, if you can very briefly tell us, sir, some story or some anecdote about how the Khukri, when it was unsheathed, frightened the Pakistanis.
Why only Pakistanis, Gaurav? It comes out right down from the Burma campaign onwards, when the Japanese also, they used to really shiver. And there is a legendary story about the samurai warrior and the Gorkha with the Khukri.
Absolutely.
I believe both of them were facing each other. And they said,
sir.
"Your samurai, you swear by it. Your Khukri, you swear by it. Let us see what can you do about it and how can you prove that." He had chopped the mosquito into 2 pieces with his samurai sword and he put it back over there. Then it was the Gurkha Johnny's turn. So they said, "Gurkha Johnny, do something." He did something like this. And everybody said, "What? What happened?" Everybody started smiling. Can't do much. And even the samurai guy was slightly, smiling in a weird manner. They said, "You haven't done anything. The samurai is better." He said, "Okay, just ask him to nod his head." So these are, of course, these are legendary stories, of course. But I'm telling you, the Khukri in a Gurkha guy's hand, we do everything with it. And it's like an extended arm. And while chopping the heads, I've seen it in real life also. Our boys don't use that full action of a jhatka like that, It's just something like this. And the head is off. It's lopped off. That's as good as that. So, and even when I had to sort of urge my boys up, and when I talked to them before the actual war and the battle, what did I tell them? One of the most telling points I told them is, look, Gorkha ka Khukri ka dhar, you can never let it down. You must let the enemy taste the edge of the sharpness of your Khukri. And our forefathers have done it. That's why we've got a name. So we have to continue with that complete legacy of ours. And our boys didn't look back. They didn't look back.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely, sir. Thank you very much for joining us, sir. And it was again a privilege and an honor to speak to you, sir. It was a privilege and an honor. Ladies and gentlemen, with Colonel Lalit Rai, Veer Chakra, the hero of Kargil. And of course, he tells us stories about the Gurkhas. He told us how Captain Manoj Pandey fought with the Pakistanis and how he was inducted earlier on, Colonel Lalit Rai, when there was, he was just pushed into battle without any sort of briefing, or he did not even know the troops very well. He didn't know the area, but he went in, he did his duty. And I think this story of Colonel Lalit Rai Veer Chakra is not just his own story. This is the true DNA, the true essence of the Indian Army. Thank you for joining us, and Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, Gaurav. It's always a pleasure talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
And of
Thank
course,
you very much, sir.
my heart goes out to all
Sure.
those brave hearts who laid down their lives
Sure.
for our nation. They did a great job, great service, and I don't think anybody can repay that debt. So my salute
Sure.
to all of those, irrespective of regiment.
Sir.
Thank you, and Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Jai Hind, sir. Jai Hind, sir.
Breaking news coming in now. Partha Chatterjee arrives at Kolkata airport. He will be taken to the CGO complex after an ED custody was ordered for him till the 3rd of August. So breaking news, breaking development here in the SSA recruitment scam of West Bengal. Partha Chatterjee, the main accused, back in Kolkata, just arrived a short while ago at Kolkata airport. We're trying to get in touch with our reporter to tell us more about how the day is likely to pan out, even as we do know that the Enforcement Directorate has been granted 10 days custody of Partha. And already there's a mountain of evidence that the ED has collected in a series of raids that were conducted on Partha Chatterjee and his close associates. Partha Chatterjee is senior minister in the TMC government in West Bengal. He is an accused in the state school job scam. And joining us is Priyanka, a correspondent who's been giving us regular updates on this story. Priyanka, coming to you, Partha Chatterjee arriving at Kolkata airport, a big development there. Next, of course, we are expecting that the questioning will begin. And although he's been evading all questions so far, there is likely to be a change now.
Well, as you rightly pointed out, that he has been evasive, and that's exactly what he had been trying. And now, since he tried this entire matter of the illness and that he had been having chest pains as well, so then he had been taken to Bhubaneswar, but now been brought back to Calcutta. And now, of course, the custody to the Enforcement Directorate that has been given till 3rd of August as well. And since then, we have seen the kind of investigation as well the ED has been carrying out. And now, for 9 days, we will have the custody of Partha Chatterjee and Arpita Mukherjee as well, so that the both accused can be interrogated by the officials in custody, and they can also be confronted with the kind of documents that have been seized in the raids that were carried out by the Enforcement Directorate. And that also includes the kind of proceeds of crime that have also been seized in this entire matter. And of course, more and more evidence is coming out every day. And that is why that had been cited in the court yesterday as well by the Enforcement Directorate, citing a reason as to why they need Partha Chatterjee and Arpita Mukherjee in their custody so that they can carry out their investigation further.
Many thanks, Priyanka, for joining us and for giving us those details. So Partha Chatterjee, the main accused in the SSA recruitment scam case in West Bengal, arriving there at Kolkata Airport. Republic bringing you those visuals of the senior TMC minister.
Nation pays tribute to Kargil heroes and the fallen soldiers. It's the 23rd year of Kargil war. Keep watching Republic TV for more updates.
Wherever you are, whenever you want, Republic Livestream with you everywhere. Republic Livestream, India's #1 streaming news.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 9 years, with top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, masscom, telecom, hospitality, fashion and more. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
Wherever you are, whenever you want, Republic Live Stream with you everywhere. Republic Live Stream, India's #1 streaming news. Me and my Vijay are together. Absolute pandemonium, chaos. In fact, massive security thrown around. Big push diplomatic visit, which is going to be, of course, capped by the Quad leaders meets. Uddhav surrounded himself with unelectable coterie. You expect these people to dictate terms to a grassroots strong leader like Eknath Shinde?
Wherever you are, whenever you want, Republic Live Stream with you everywhere. Republic Live Stream, India's #1 streaming news.
Here on the live coverage on Republic TV as we report from outside Raj Thakre's residence. The Chief Minister of Maharashtra vacates his residence. Sena supporters coming out in large numbers showing their support to Uddhav Thackeray. The NCP huddle has begun. We're keeping a close track of all the senior leaders coming in and going out.
आप देख रहे हैं इस समय यहाँ पे अब पूरी की पूरी प्रिपरेशन की जा रही है। किसी भी समय यहाँ पे महाराष्ट्र के अगले मुख्यमंत्री आने वाले हैं।
ये मिनट टू मिनट आर टू आर पेट्रोलिंग इस समय दिल्ली की सड़कों पर पेट्रोलिंग हो रही है।
शरद पवार का पहले ट्वीट आया, उसके बाद यहाँ पे कंफर्मेशन हुआ है। एनसीपी एज अ पार्टी शपथ ग्रहण में यहाँ पे मौजूद होगी।
Wherever you are, whenever you want, Republic Live Stream with you everywhere. Republic Live Stream, India's #1 streaming news.
He heard the question this time very clearly. No answers from him. Our keys continue to be with his men. We faced intimidation here. We've been trying to get in touch with you and ask you several questions on the land deals that you had along with Priyanka Vadra and Robert Vadra. Why are you trying to avoid the cameras?
Once again trying to get in a word with Mr. Vijay Mallya.
Persistently been asking you only one question.
Mallya, why did you escape in 2015?
Wherever you are, whenever you want, Republic Live Stream with you everywhere. Republic Live Stream, India's #1 streaming news.
Police vans have also come in right now just to give the security to the BJP legislators right now as they are staying here for a while before the government formation actually takes place. About 17 locations where these searches are being carried out. In all likelihood, the number is going to go up. There could be some arrests. Total of 8 CCTV footages that have been accessed. This encapsulates Kohli's murder that has taken place.
Wherever you are, whenever you want.
Wherever you are, whenever you want, Republic Live Stream with you everywhere. Republic Live Stream, India's #1 streaming news.
To the special program, 23 years of Kargil. Today, ladies and gentlemen, is Kargil Vijay Diwas. And we see images being beamed live from Kargil. And this is where the GOC of the Mountain Division is there, and all the officers and men of the Indian Army paying homage, paying tribute. The two soldiers marching in front are the pilots. The officer at the back will now be taken, and there you can see them climbing the stairs. And this is the wreath laying ceremony, where the officer will go and place the wreath. This is the wreath that will be placed as a mark of remembrance, as a mark of respect to those who laid down their lives in 1999 in Kargil. The wreath has been laid now. A salute. The officer will salute. We have guests on our panel today, and we have Major General Dhruv Katoch, Director, India Foundation. He's live from Delhi. We have Group Captain Augustine Vinod, who's a defense analyst. We have Major General Rajan Kochar, who's a defense expert, and he's live from Delhi. Sir, Jai Hind, and a very warm welcome to the special show, sir.
Jai.
I'd like to first go to General. I'd just like to go to General Dhruv Katoch, please, sir. Sir, today is Kargil Vijay Diwas, and congratulations are in order, sir, to everybody, entire Indians, wherever they may be living, sir, India, abroad. Today is a great day. What is the significance of Kargil today, 23 years after it happened, sir? I'd like to ask Major General Dhruv Katoch, sir, what is the significance of Kargil? Do you think it is still significant?
Thank you, Gaurav. Yes, I think today is a very, very significant day. And I think it is something which must be carved into the minds of all Indians, which is why it is celebrated as or commemorated as Kargil Vijay Diwas. You see, primarily why I am fascinated with this particular episode of our history is when you see movies which have been made, you know, the Hollywood movies by Tom Cruise, the Mission Impossible series. Kargil was, to all intents and purposes, Mission Impossible. It was something which the Pakistanis had planned after their fiasco which they faced in the Siachen Glacier, when they could not evict Indians, the Indian troops, from the Saltoro Heights. And that was the time when General Musharraf, he came to the conclusion that if we hold the heights, nobody can evict us from there. The Pakistanis made a few very strategic miscalculations. But amongst them, this was one of them, that they could never be evicted. I was witness to those events. I was in service that time, though I didn't fight this particular war. And I know how difficult this particular operation was. But something which was actually termed as Mission Impossible actually became possible because of the bravery and heroism of the officers and men of the armed forces of India. It was a joint effort. And I think after having lost 523 brave hearts, 1,000 plus had been injured, we achieved this victory against all odds. And this is something which I think we need to remember, that even under such adverse circumstances, when the enemy has taken you by surprise, we can still get back and snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. This is a great learning. Of course, there are other learnings, and we must never allow ourselves to be surprised in this manner again. But it cannot take away from the great deal of heroism, the spirit, the josh, the courage, the valor. The words are insufficient to describe what the soldiers of the armed forces did for those 3 months before victory was finally achieved. Gaurav.
Absolutely, sir. Now, we have Group Captain Augustine Vinod, and I'd like to ask him, sir, a lot has been spoken about the Army and the way Army conducted operations. But the Air Force had a fantastic role to play. The way Operation Safed Sagar was launched, the way the Air Force, with pinpointed accuracy, smashed the morale out of the Pakistan Army, sir. The professionalism with which the Indian Air Force conducted itself, I'd like your views on that, because this is something that India needs to know again and again, every year, every day, the role of the Indian Air Force in the Kargil conflict. Over to you, sir.
In the history of warfare, the manner in which we conducted the Kargil operations at that time. Two things which stands out very, very clear. First, we had our, instructions from polity very clear that LAC should not be crossed, especially for Air Force, which operates in a wide and vast area. It was like fighting with hand tied behind your back. We had not, by that time, trained to fight not crossing the border or LAC or things like that. So that was one major challenge for us. And second, if the young India needs to know, in any war, we contain the war in a geographically limited area, which in my opinion has never been done earlier. So these two things needs to be understood loud and clear by everybody. I was that time in Mirage 2000 squadron, battle axis, which did all the damage. So I'm very fortunate and thankful to God that I was part of such a unit, an elite unit which conducted such operations. Initially, Mirage 2000s were not brought in. Initially, MiG-21s and MiG-27s were doing the job. That is when, if you remember, Nachiketa got his engine flamed out and he got captured, and squad leader Ajay Ahuja was killed, who went to look for him. In fact, just a couple of days ago, I met Nachiketa and we spent 2-3 days together talking about it, etc. Then came my squadron, that is the battle axis came in. And like you correctly pointed out,
The army of the braves is determined to save their country no matter how challenging it is, and they have proved their might time and again, be it 1965, 71 or the 1999 where the Pakistan faced a humiliating defeat, and today the nation pays the salute to these brave hearts. With Sarjeevan Kumar, Gursimran Singh for Republic Media Network.
Republic News Network is the only network to get you an aerial view.
सोनिया गांधी से ईडी पूछताछ नहीं कर सकती। इसको रोको यार, तुम हमें लगते हो इधर से। ये क्या मतलब है?
Chandigarh police has applied the water cannon to disperse the protesters.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 9 years, with top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, mass comm, telecom, hospitality, fashion and more. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
Wherever you are, whenever you want, Republic Livestream with you everywhere. Republic Livestream, India's #1 streaming news.
He heard the question this time very clearly. No answers from him. Our keys continue to be with his men. We faced intimidation here. We've been trying to get in touch with you and ask you several questions on the land deals that you had along with Priyanka Vadra and Robert Vadra. Why are you trying to avoid the camera? Once again trying to get in a word with Mr. Vijay Mallya. Persistently been asking you only one question. Mallya, why did you escape in 2015?
Wherever you are, whenever you want, Republic Livestream with you everywhere. Republic Livestream, India's #1 streaming news.
Police vans have also come in right now just to give the security to the BJP legislators right now as they are staying here for a while before the government formation actually takes place. About 17 locations where these searches are being carried out. In all likelihood, the number is going to go up. There could be some arrests. Total of 8 CCTV footages that have been accessed. This encapsulates Kohler's murder that has taken place.
Wherever you are, whenever you want, Republic Live Stream with you everywhere. Republic Live Stream, India's #1 streaming news. Me and my Vijay are together. Absolute pandemonium, chaos. In fact, massive security thrown around. Big push, diplomatic visit, which is going to be, of course, capped by the Quad leaders meets. Uddhav surrounded himself with unelectable coterie. You expect these people to dictate terms to a grassroots strong leader like Eknath Shinde?
Wherever you are, whenever you want, Republic Livestream with you everywhere. Republic Livestream, India's #1 streaming news.
We're on the live coverage on Republic TV as we report from outside Raj Thakre's residence. The Chief Minister of Maharashtra vacates his residence. Sena supporters coming out in large numbers showing their support to Uddhav Thackeray. The NCP huddle has begun. We're keeping a close track on all the senior leaders coming in and going out.
आप देख रहे हैं इस समय यहाँ पे अब पूरी की पूरी प्रिपरेशन की जा रही है। किसी भी समय यहाँ पे महाराष्ट्र के अगले मुख्यमंत्री आने वाले हैं।
ये मिनट टू मिनट आर टू आर पेट्रोलिंग इस समय दिल्ली की सड़कों पर पेट्रोलिंग हो रही है।
शरद पवार का पहले ट्वीट आया, उसके बाद यहाँ पे कंफर्मेशन हुआ है। एनसीपी एज अ पार्टी शपथ ग्रहण में यहाँ पे मौजूद होगी।
Wherever you are, whenever you want, Republic Live Stream with you everywhere. Republic Live Stream, India's #1 streaming news.
Gentlemen, many congratulations again on Kargil Vijay Diwas. And you see the flame burning. And this is the Veer Sthal at Kargil, and the tombstones that you see with names of the brave hearts on the left are not just those who laid down their lives in Kargil, but all the soldiers who laid down their lives since 1947. I have been here. It was an honor and a privilege to go and pay my regards and respects at this place. And this is the same place where you also have the Kargil War Memorial. So on the left, you have the names of all the soldiers who have died in all the wars, who have given their lives for this country. And on the right side, as the camera faces, you have the Kargil War Memorial. And today we celebrate 23 years of Kargil Vijay Diwas. It was today in 1999 where Indian forces threw out the Pakistani army who broke faith, who broke an understanding between India and Pakistan, and in the dead of the night occupied these heights at Kargil. Now, today is a great day for India, and there is a bike rally which is going to Kargil to commemorate this fantastic victory, and we have some great visuals for you.
Music, colors, and a festive atmosphere shroud the district of Kargil in Ladakh as the nation marks the Kargil Vijay Diwas. On this day in 1999, our soldiers ousted Pakistani forces from their occupied positions in the northern regions of Kargil district, effectively claiming victory in the Kargil War. Today, 23 years after that historic day, India is coming together to celebrate the valor and remember the sacrifices of our brave hearts.
We are reporting from Kargil, and it is the time to remember those soldiers who lost their lives while defending motherland. We are showing you the visuals from the Dras here, where the celebrations and also Vijay Diwas commemoration that is to be conducted at the Kargil War Memorial Dras to mark the victory over evil and to honor the sons of the soil, the fallen heroes. My Vijay, for those who are showing the visuals from the musical event that is taking place here in the heart, where the soldiers who are given their life while defending the motherland, so they are being remembered.
एकम सत मिशन फॉर नेशन इस थीम से आज गीत गाएंगे और कारगिल विजय दिवस के उपलक्ष्य में आज का कार्यक्रम हो रहा है। तो ये बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण दिवस है क्योंकि हमारे जो आर्मी नेवी एयरफोर्स आर्म फोर्सेस जिसे हम कहते हैं, उनके जो जवानों ने मिलकर सारों ने मिलकर जो हमारे देश को विजय दिवस के उपलक्ष्य में विजय दिलाई थी, उसका ये सेलिब्रेशन है, तो उसके लिए हम यहाँ आए।
The 26th of July, 1999. The Army's saga of valor leaves a lasting imprint on the sands of time. Vijay Parva salutes the gallantry, commitment, fortitude and indomitable spirit of our brave hearts. On the unscalable heights of Kargil, an exemplary edict was inscribed in blood. Never again, maybe, for the sake of the motherland, the chance to make the supreme sacrifice. The enemy will be given a befitting reply. Each time, every time, come rain, storm, fire or ice. Vijay Diwas. On the 26th of July, a grateful nation salutes her brave soldiers.
Wherever you are, whenever you want, Republic Live Stream. With you, everywhere. Republic Live Stream, India's #1 streaming news.
Here on the live coverage on Republic TV as we report from outside Raj Thakre's residence. The Chief Minister of Maharashtra vacates his residence. Sena supporters coming out in large numbers showing their support to Uddhav Thackeray. The NCP huddle has begun. We're keeping a close track of all the senior leaders coming in and going out.
आप देख रहे हैं इस समय यहाँ पे अब पूरी की पूरी प्रिपरेशन की जा रही है। किसी भी समय यहाँ पे महाराष्ट्र के अगले मुख्यमंत्री आने वाले हैं।
ये मिनट टू मिनट, आर टू आर पेट्रोलिंग इस समय दिल्ली की सड़कों पर पेट्रोलिंग हो रही है।
शरद पवार का पहले ट्वीट आया, उसके बाद यहाँ पे कंफर्मेशन हुआ है एनसीपी एज अ पार्टी शपथ ग्रहण में यहाँ पे मौजूद होगी।
Wherever you are, whenever you want, Republic Live Stream with you everywhere. Republic Live Stream, India's #1 streaming news.
He heard the question this time very clearly. No answers from him. Our keys continue to be with his men. We faced intimidation here. We've been trying to get in touch with you and ask you several questions on the land deals that you had along with Priyanka Vadra and Robert Vadra. Why are you trying to avoid the cameras? Once again trying to get in a word with Mr. Vijay Mallya. Persistently been asking you only one question. Mallya, why did you escape in 2015?
Wherever you are, whenever you want, Republic Live Stream with you everywhere. Republic Live Stream, India's #1 streaming news.
Police vans have also come in right now just to give the security to the BJP legislators right now as they are staying here for a while before the government formation actually takes place. About 17 locations where these searches are being carried out. In all likelihood, the number is going to go up. There could be some arrests. Total of 8 CCTV footages that have been accessed. This encapsulates Kohli's murder that has taken place.
Wherever you are, whenever you want, Republic Live Stream with you everywhere. Republic Live Stream, India's #1 streaming news. Me and my Vijay are together. Absolute pandemonium, chaos, fact, massive security thrown around. Big push, diplomatic visit, which is going to be, of course, capped by the Quad leaders meets. Uddhav surrounded himself with unelectable coterie. You expect these people to dictate terms to a grassroots strong leader like Eknath Shinde?
Wherever you are, whenever you want, Republic Live Stream. With you, everywhere. Republic Live Stream, India's...
India pays tribute to its heroes on the 23rd Kargil Vijay Diwas, honoring soldiers who sacrificed their lives in the Kargil War of 1999. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh is to lead the nation's tribute to the Kargil heroes at the National War Memorial. The ED is to interrogate Sonia Gandhi once again in connection with the National Herald scam case. As the Enforcement Directorate quizzes Sonia Gandhi for a second time, the Congress stages pan-India protests.
जबरदस्त युद्ध लड़ा गया जहां 500 से ज्यादा वीरों ने अपनी शहादत दी और इसीलिए पूरा देश आज ये कह रहा है कि शहीदों की चिताओं पर लगेंगे हर बरस मेले, वतन पे मरने वालों का यही बाकी निशा होगा। कैमरामैन सुमित नौटियाल के साथ मैं ओम प्रकाश दास, द्रास से करगिल युद्ध मेमोरियल।
All right, so ceremonies across the country are on to honor the brave hearts who lost their lives in Kargil in 1999. Now, it's been 23 years to that day when India, of course, had victory in Kargil. So pictures on your screen, I think these ones are coming from the memorial that's been established. Also, there is going to be a long list of celebrations as well as honors that will be made for our heroes. It was on this day 23 years ago that the Indian Army had recaptured all the Indian posts in Kargil that had been occupied by the Pakistani Army. Since then, July 26, of course, has been observed annually to commemorate the sacrifices that have been made by our soldiers in the war. Now, the war, of course, just took place between May and July of 1999 in Jammu and Kashmir's Kargil district. The conflict was orchestrated by the then Pakistan Army Chief General Pervez Musharraf. All right, we're going to go across to our correspondents on the ground. I think we've got Piyush joining us right now. Piyush, good morning. We've also got our guests this morning. We've got Major General Dhruv Katoj, Group Captain Augustine Vinod, Major General Rajan Kochar and Colonel Shailendra Singh. Good morning, gentlemen, and thank you very much for joining us on Republic. I'm going to first go across to our correspondent Piyush who's on the ground. Piyush, tell us what's happening around you. And of course, there is going to be a lot in terms of what we see of the honoring of our heroes.
Well, absolutely, Nupu. Good morning to you and to all our guests. Right now, I am at National War Memorial in National Capital. Right behind me, you can see the preparations are going on for the big day, the celebration of big day. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh will be coming here, and before that, you can see the tri-services personnel. They are preparing for the grand event which will take place here. Remember that every year on July 26th, we celebrate Kargil Vijay Diwas, and it was on this very day that India had successfully won the Kargil war and had taken back the control over the higher posts. In fact, there was an operation which was launched by Pakistan to cut off Siachen from rest of India and come on and also force India to talk on its demands on Kashmir. But it was the valor of our armed forces who put their best efforts, and then we took over the control, took back over the higher posts, and we are showing you the live pictures of from National War Memorial where preparations are underway. This is also the very day when we recount the valor of India's defence forces who fought back bravely from a position which was of disadvantage, and this fight was basically to recapture the territories those were occupied by Pakistan in 1991. From different parts of the country, we are getting the pictures of celebrations of Kargil Vijay Diwas. My colleague Zinat is also there in Srinagar, who is getting all the details as the celebration of Kargil Diwas is taking place there in Kargil also. So Zinat, what is happening right now there? Can we see the officers reaching there, and by what time we can expect the program to begin?
See, the program has already begun here in Dras, Kargil. We are reporting from the Dras War Memorial, and while back, Northern Commander Upendra Dwivedi has led the reef along with the Air Force officials, and also the GOC 14 Corps has also been here to pay respects and the tributes to the heroes of Kargil and also the fallen soldiers. As my VJ Firdos is showing you the visuals from the war memorial, and let me tell you, it was exactly in May 1999, 56 Mountain Brigade was inducted in Dras to evict Pakistani intruders occupying strategically important heights of Tololing, Tiger Hill, Point 4875 and Mashko Valley. Considering the enormity of intrusions, balance of 8 mountain division was also inducted. What followed was a saga of unparalleled courage, valor and sacrifice. A fierce battle was fought by Indian soldiers to smoothen the nefarious designs of the enemy. In one of the most treacherous terrains on the earth, the enemy was disgracefully evicted by the Indian Army soldiers as well as the Air Force on 2nd of July 1999. And if we talk about the comprehensive action taken by the Indian Army to evict the intruders from the Indian soil was codenamed Operation Vijay. The Kargil sector witnessed bloody battle from May to July 1990. In the early parts of 1999, the Pakistan Army occupied posts and dominating heights which were traditionally unoccupied. The entire incursion was credited to Kashmiri terrorists by Pakistan. However, the lie was exposed by prisoners of war. Identification of documents of the deceased, captured weapons, stores and statements of the Pakistani leadership. The aim of this misadventure was to commence operation from a position of distinct advantage. The infiltration was codenamed Operation Badr. Its aim was being to serve the link between Kashmir and Ladakh as well as force India to withdraw from the Siachen Glacier. They also hoped to force a negotiated settlement of the border Kashmir issue dispute to Pakistan's advantage. But despite whatever Pakistan could plan in these months as far as the Kargil war is concerned, they were disgracefully evicted from this very place. They were disgracefully evicted from this place. In fact, if we talk about the casualty number of the Indian Army, it was more than 700, but then Pakistan suffered in thousands the casualties, and also they had to leave their arms, ammunitions and other things when they were evicted from the Indian soil by the heroes of the Kargil. We remember the heroes like Captain Batra, Yogendra Yadav or Rifle Kumar, Sanjay Kumar. They are the brilliant war heroes who are still being remembered for their contribution as far as the Kargil Vijay Diwas is concerned, that we are celebrating today because it is the 23rd year of the Kargil war and the celebration year is 22nd. So as my VJ Firdos is showing you the visuals from the war memorial, where the war memorial has been decked up, and we are seeing the Northern Commander Sting as well as the GOC 14 Corps and the other officer. We are expecting that the LG of Ladakh will also be here in some time from now. So, Sanjay, if we talk about the battle, whether we talk about the battle of the Tiger Hill, let me tell our viewers that what the battle of Tiger Hill was. The Tiger Hill was the fulcrum on which the intruders' defenses in Dras subsector were based. The enemy had prepared formidably defense on the Tiger Hill top and given its depth by physically occupying all the spurs leading to it. The development comprised of area top, eastern spur, western as well as the Indian Gate, Helmet, Rocky Knobs and the Rhino Hor. To evict the enemy from this well-fortified mountain top had become a matter of national pride for the soldiers who were fighting this Kargil war. Therefore, the Indian Air Force commenced their multi-directional assault at 20:30 hours on July 3rd, 1999 under cover of bad weather, darkness and the lethal fire punch of the big gun. Their ferocity unnerved the enemy completely and paved way for the eventually capture of the Tiger Hill. The enemy launched several counterattacks on different features of the complex. Our valiant soldiers stood their ground, and at around 8 in the morning on 8th of July 1999, the Indian tricolor was fluttered on Tiger Hill, and this was once again done by Captain Batra, yes, who is still being remembered for his bravery, and also the slogan "Ye Dil Mange Won," the tricolor that was fluttered on Tiger Hill was by Captain Batra. Vijay is again showing you the visuals of the peaks of the mountainous peaks of the Dras sector, where this battle was fought for almost 3 months. Regularly, we have been seeing the majority of the operations were conducted during night time. So such was the fierce battle that Pakistan was not only evicted, but they have to leave all their ammunitions, arms, and in fact, if we remember that they also left they refused even to take the bodies of the soldiers who fought in Kargil 1991. Similarly, there is one more battle of Tololing that was fought between the 20th of May to 13th of June. The Tololing features overlooks Dras and directly dominates a long stretch of the Dras Kargil National Highway. My video is showing you the ridge, the Tololing ridge, where this battle was fought. The battle of Tololing was fought. This is, as my video is showing you, the visuals of the ridge. This is a Tololing ridge where the battle was fought, and this would connect. This would connect you to the Batalik sector as well as the Kaksar sector, and one of the fierce battles once again was fought by the Indian Army here. And if we remember the contribution that was made by the Indian Air Force, they also launched one of the operations which was named as the
right, Zenith, as you're pointing out, of course, behind you is the Kargil Memorial at Dras, where senior officials of the army as well as all the others are paying their respects to the soldiers who lost their lives in the Kargil conflict. 527 Indian soldiers and officers and Jawans had lost their lives. Now, there is no other way to say this. We are a grateful nation, grateful to our courageous soldiers, grateful to our brave heroes, and grateful to those who laid down their lives on the border so we can live in safety. Today, when India remembers all her brave hearts who sacrificed their lives in the Kargil war, we pay tribute to the heroes whose name is written in golden words in the annals of Indian history.
We will not bow our head. That's what the late Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee said, and our brave hearts did not fail him. They laid down their lives but kept the tricolour flying high. The victory cries went up in Kargil 22 years ago, but even today, the echo of those jubilations reverberate in our hearts. Today, when we remember our heroes on Kargil Vijay Diwas, the first name that comes to mind is that of Captain Vikram Batra, the Sher Shah.
And one of the Pakistani soldiers or officer, whoever it was, he said to me, my code name was Sher Shah. Oh Sher Shah, you have come. Don't try to come up, otherwise you'll have a tough time. And that was the time they gave us a challenge, and my guys, they went wild. How dare a Pakistani troop can challenge us?
On 7th of July 1999, his company was tasked to capture a feature on point 4875. In a fierce hand-to-hand fight, he killed 5 enemy soldiers, despite sustaining grave injuries. He led his men from the front and pressed on the attack, achieving virtually impossible task in the face of heavy enemy fire before attaining martyrdom. Inspired by his courageous act, his troops annihilated the enemy and captured point 4875.
My company's success was Ye Dil Mange More. The guys were so highly charged up that they're wanting that some more bunkers should have been there and we would have got the more chance.
For exhibiting an act of conspicuous gallantry, inspiring leadership, indomitable courage, and supreme sacrifice, he was awarded the Paramveer Chakra posthumously. The Battle of Tololing was one of the pivotal battles in the Kargil War, and Major Padmapani Acharya led the battle from the front. Unmindful of his own safety, Major Acharya took the reserve platoon and led it through raining bombardment. He himself crawled up to the enemy bunker and lobbed grenades. After a night-long fierce hand-to-hand battle, the battalion succeeded in recapturing Tololing Top, but lost their major. Major Padmapani Acharya was awarded the nation's second highest gallantry award, Mahavir Chakra, for his outstanding bravery, unfaltering leadership and supreme sacrifice. There are so many tales of our brave hearts and their valor. One of them is the hero of Batalik, Major Mariappan Saravanan. Operation Vijay was launched on the 26th of May and his unit was tasked to capture point 4268 in Juba Ridge located on the western side of the Batalik sector, the second highest battlefield in the world after Siachen. But not the one to give up, the Major, with the code name of Genghis, not only scaled those heights but also inspired his unit to recapture point 4268. He was conferred the Veer Chakra for his supreme sacrifice. Years, decades, even centuries would pass, but the stories of courage and nationalism would never end. And the heroes whose legend is written in gold words would be remembered forever by this grateful nation. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
And in fact, Zeenath and Piyush are continuing to bring us the latest. Zeenath is reporting from Dras and Kargil, and Piyush is at the National War Memorial in Delhi. Both of you do stay with us. Now, as India celebrates its 23rd Kargil Diwas today and remembers the sacrifice and courage and valor of our brave hearts who were martyred in the Kargil War of 1999. Now, on this day, we show respect and gratitude to those brave servicemen of the armed forces who sacrificed their lives to earn back the positions that were unlawfully seized by the Pakistani army. While the 60-day long war resulted in a loss of several lives on both sides, India eventually won the war by regaining control of all the previously held territory. Now we bring you this exclusive report from the Kargil War Memorial in the backdrop of the Tololing Hill, which is all decked up to remember the heroes. Zeenath filed this report earlier.
Indian tricolour flutters high in air as we are reporting from Dras War Memorial, where it has been decked up and also the candles have been lit up by the families of those fallen soldiers who were part of this Kargil War of 1999. War veterans, Veer Naris and also the Northern Commander Upendra Dwivedi was here to pay tributes to these fallen soldiers. If we talk about the 1990 war, the code name of this operation was Operation Vijay, and then also Indian Air Force launched the operation that again was codenamed as Safed Sagar. We have been seeing the people coming from different parts of the country and also to pay the tributes to those soldiers who fought Pakistan bravely. In fact, if we talk about the Indian Army, the soldiers, some 700 soldiers lost their life. But when you talk about the count of Pakistan soldiers, they lost soldiers in thousands, and in fact they refused later to even to take their bodies, claiming that they are not the part of the Pakistan army, but they might be the terrorists. But as my VJ is showing you the peaks of the Tololing Ridge, Batalik sector, it connects. This is the place where the war was on for almost 2 months, and it was one of the shortest war, but it was one of the toughest war because the peaks were actually captured by the Pakistan intruders, and how the Indian Army managed their supplies, their ammunition, so that they are able to take them out from their soil was a real big challenge for the soldiers who fought this war in 1999.
Right, in fact, let's go across right now to Piyush. Piyush, there are ceremonies taking place at the National War Memorial in New Delhi. Take us through those.
Well, yes, we are getting these pictures coming in from National War Memorial, where you can see how the personnel of tri-services, they are paying homage, giving a salute to Amar Jawan Jyoti. Amar Jawan Jyoti has now been fixed permanently here at National War Memorial, and the personnel of tri-services, they are paying respects to Amar Jawan Jyoti. There are names of all the martyrs scribbled there on the walls of National War Memorial, and that is also on my my right side. If Anil can try to pan his camera, you can see the top officers from Defence Forces. They are arriving here. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh is expected to reach here at around 9 a.m. Before that, Defence Secretary would come, and most Defence, he will also accompany Defence Minister Rajnath Singh. The preparations are underway here at National War Memorial to celebrate the 23rd Kargil Diwas. Remember that on this very day, we had successfully taken back the control from Pakistani occupation, and the war had lasted for 60 days. Also, if Anil can zoom, you can see few persons have got the wreath, and these wreaths would be used for the wreath laying ceremony. In few minutes from now, we will see the official program to begin. The preparations have almost been done. The officers from Defence Forces, from Defence Ministry, they have come here to review the preparations. In few minutes from now, we will also see ceremony to begin. Before that, each and everything has been done. The review is going on here at National War Memorial. You can see how a march was also carried out by the Trial Services personnel here inside the National War Memorial. So it is the day when it is in fact is being celebrated as the Kargil Vijay Diwas, and it was on this very day that India was successfully able to win the Kargil war and had taken back the control over the higher outposts. In fact, on this very day, we also recount the valor of our India's defence forces who fought back bravely from a position of disadvantage to recapture territories those were occupied by Pakistan in 1999. So today, the India is remembering the valor and sacrifice and exemplary courage of our braves who had given up their lives to protect the nation in Kargil war. So today is a very big day where the congregation is taking place here at National War Memorial. Program will take place officially. It will begin at 9 a.m. when Defence Minister Rajnath Singh reaches here. We also saw a march which was being carried out by the Trial Services personnel. And if we talk about the history of Kargil war, the war had basically broken out when Pakistan had taken over the outposts, and it had deliberately went against the bilateral understandings. Those were signed between both the nations, India and Pakistan. And soon after that, we saw how war broke out. A war lasted for 60 days, and it ended on 26 July 1991. So the preparations here in National War Memorial, Nupur, right now underway. We are continuously getting pictures from different parts of the country, from Dras to Kargil to Delhi. In National War Memorial at 9 a.m. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh will be reaching here, and as and when he reaches here, we will be updating to our viewers because at the time itself, the official program will begin here at National War Memorial. Nupur.
Republic News Network is the only network to get you an aerial view.
सोनिया गांधी से ईडी पूछताछ नहीं कर सकती। इसको रोको यार, तुम हमें ये क्या बदतमीजी है?
Chandigarh police has applied the water cannon to disperse the protesters.
Reading allows us to become familiar with ourselves.
We don't read, we won't know
what is knowledge? I just find it very interesting to know people's lives, how they went through certain situations, how they dealt with things.
So wherever you want to go in life, if you read books along those lines, then that would really help you in growing.
Reading could mean a million different things to every individual. What does it mean to you? Visit readindia.info to find out more.
Wherever you are, whenever you want, Republic Livestream with you everywhere. Republic Livestream, India's #1 streaming news.
Police vans have also come in right now just to give the security to the BJP legislators right now as they are staying here for a while before the government formation actually takes place. About 17 locations where these searches are being carried out. In all likelihood, the number is going to go up. There could be some arrests. Total of 8 CCTV footages that have been accessed. This encapsulates Kohli's murder that has taken place.
Wherever you are, whenever you want, Republic Live Stream with you everywhere. Republic Live Stream, India's #1 streaming news. Me and my Vijay are together. Absolute pandemonium, chaos. In fact, massive security thrown around. Big push diplomatic visit, which is going to be, of course, capped by the Quad leaders meets. Uddhav surrounded himself with unelectable coterie. You expect these people to dictate terms to a grassroots strong leader like Eknath Shinde?
Wherever you are, whenever you want, Republic Livestream with you everywhere. Republic Livestream, India's #1 streaming news.
Here on the live coverage on Republic TV as we report from outside Raj Thakre's residence. The Chief Minister of Maharashtra vacates his residence. Sena supporters coming out in large numbers showing their support to Uddhav Thackeray. The NCP huddle has begun. We're keeping a close track of all the senior leaders coming in and going out.
आप देख रहे हैं इस समय यहाँ पे अब पूरी की पूरी प्रिपरेशन की जा रही है. किसी भी समय यहाँ पे महाराष्ट्र के अगले मुख्यमंत्री आने वाले हैं.
ये मिनट टू मिनट आर टू आर पेट्रोलिंग इस समय दिल्ली की सड़कों पर पेट्रोलिंग हो रही है.
शरद पवार का पहले ट्वीट आया, उसके बाद यहाँ पे कंफर्मेशन हुआ है. एनसीपी एज अ पार्टी शपथ ग्रहण में यहाँ पे मौजूद होगी.
Wherever you are, whenever you want, Republic Livestream with you everywhere. Republic Livestream, India's #1 streaming news.
He heard the question this time very clearly. No answers from him. Our keys continue to be with his men. We faced intimidation here. We've been trying to get in touch with you and ask you several questions on the land deals that you had along with Priyanka Vadra and Robert Vadra. Why are you trying to avoid the camera?
Once again trying to get in a word with Mr. Vijay Mallya.
Persistently been asking you only one question. Mallya, why did you escape in 2015?
Wherever you are, whenever you want, Republic Livestream with you everywhere. Republic Livestream, India's #1 streaming news.
Top headlines at 8:30. India pays tribute to its heroes on 23rd Kargil Vijay Diwas to honor the soldiers who sacrificed their lives in the Kargil War of 1999. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh to lead nation's tribute to Kargil heroes at National War Memorial. ED to interrogate Sonia Gandhi once again in connection with the National Herald scam case. Bengal Minister Partha Chatterjee in ED custody till 3rd of August, now shifted to Kolkata from Bhubaneswar. Good morning, viewers. Thanks for tuning in to the Morning Express. I'm Samiksha Srivastava. We know that news does not wait. We know that news is always live and breaking, and we know that you hate missing out on the news. So do not be denied of live news anymore. No more fear of missing out on news. You can watch it anytime, anywhere, and on any device. All you have to do is open your browser, Google Republic Livestream, and tap to watch the news. We are available on most OTT platforms. And if your platform of choice does not have Republic Livestream, you can even ask them to reach out to us and we shall make it available. And the nation today remembers the war heroes who laid down their lives in the Kargil war. It is indeed a day where the nation salutes all those soldiers who laid down their lives for the nation. We have our reporters Gursimran Zeenat reporting live from Kargil. Gursimran joining us live from Jammu, a host of guests also joining us. A very good morning to all our guests. If I can first go across to Major General Colonel Lalit Rai, thank you for joining us this morning. If you could talk to us about how important this day to us, the day is for us, and also all the soldiers who laid down their lives for the nation.
Is that question to me?
Well, that's right. Colonel Shailendra Singh, to you first. Yes.
Okay. Jai Hind to my country. Jai Hind to all my martyrs, 527. Jai Hind to more than 1,800 injured people from my armed forces. Jai Hind, a very big Jai Hind to thousands of troops who took part. Let me tell you, we that day won actually 527 Paramveer Chakra for all those people who gave up their lives willingly, knowingly. Nobody joins Indian Army for dying, but that jazba to allow themselves to be motivated to give up your life is the more important thing of Indian Army. As far as I am concerned, I can only tell you, I have a very big complaint against the God Almighty that my name was not there at the 528th. God has done grave injustice to people like me who wanted that, yes, because at that time there was a horde, there was a competition that who will face more challenge, who will face more challenge to your life. People were running like that, running against time, knowing fully well that you are going and you are likely to get killed. That is the jazba I'm talking about. I'm equally grateful to my whole country and countrymen that you all stood by together in this hour of need for the country. I think the biggest learning of Kargil, the biggest celebration of Kargil should be that we will make sure never ever a Kargil is allowed to happen on our land. Let us take those precautions. Let us take those decisions. Let us do everything possible that we won't allow any other country or anyone to invade or take even an inch of our land. I think that is the call of the day today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Stay with us. We understand that Prime Minister Modi has also taken to Twitter to hail the sacrifices of all those soldiers. If I can read out that tweet, where Prime Minister says Kargil Vijay Diwas is a symbol of pride and glory of Ma Bharti. On this occasion, I salute all the brave sons of the country who have excelled in the defense of the motherland. So that's the tweet that has been put out by Prime Minister Modi there, hailing the sacrifice and lauding the sacrifice of all those soldiers who were martyred in the Kargil war, who laid down their lives in service of the nation. If I can go across to Major General Rajan Kochar, sir, if you could talk to us and share with us the stories of valor of all the fallen, of some of the fallen heroes in the Kargil war.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to give my salute and homage to those 527 brave hearts who sacrificed their today for our tomorrow. And today we must remember this sacrifice, and the nation must feel indebted to our soldiers who have so valiantly fought this war. And let me tell you, this war has been one of the finest wars in the world military history. Never before this kind of war has been fought by any nation in this kind of altitude. And the battle of .5140 and .4875, where Captain Vikram Batra was instrumental in securing these peaks for us, is the battle to be remembered today for the sacrifice, valor. The gradient of 80 degrees was the climb which the soldiers of 13 Jammu and Kashmir rifles had undertaken, and never before in the history of warfare, in the face of the enemy, you saw an army going for an operation of this kind. A second aspect is that in spite of heavy gunfire coming from the bunkers of the enemy, these soldiers of ours, the valiant soldiers of ours, continued in spite of casualties. It is the leadership, and especially the junior leadership of the Indian Army and Captain Vikram Batra's single-handedly taking his men, inspiring his men all through this operation is to be remembered and to be learned by the young officers of the Indian Army today. We have a written examination on military history in all our promotion examinations. This is where this battle is going to be a lesson learned for all these valiant soldiers of ours. We salute them on this day. Jai Hind.
Well, absolutely, sir. I'll request all the guests to stay with us. Let's take a look at this report as the entire country is celebrating the Kargil Vijay Diwas. Here's an exclusive report from the Balidan Stump in Jammu, filed by my colleague Gursimran.
On the 23rd anniversary of Kargil Vijay Diwas, the nation pays salute to those brave hearts of the country who laid down their life for unity, integrity of the country. In 1999, the Pakistan, the covered country, occupied the heights of Kargil, but the brave hearts of the Indian Army gave a befitting reply to the Pakistani intruders and the regulars who have occupied the heights and have shown the world that this army, the army of the braves, is determined to save their country no matter how challenging it is, and they have proved their might time and again, be it 1965, 71 or the 1999 where the Pakistan faced a humiliating defeat, and today the nation pays the salute to these brave hearts. With Sarjeevan Kumar, Gursimran Singh for Republic Media Network.
And these are the live visuals that we are getting to you live from Dras. In the visuals, you can see how the army is celebrating a historic day, the day when the soldiers sacrificed their lives in service of the nation. Remember, on 26th of July, 1999, the whole world witnessed the unparalleled courage of our soldiers. Remember, on 26th of July 1999, the whole country, the world in fact, witnessed the courage and valor of our soldiers. Reporting live from Dras, Kargil. Zeenat, take it away. Talk to us about how the army is celebrating the historic day today.
Absolutely, Samisha. It is one of the historic day in the history of India, where we are seeing not a commemoration on Kargil Vijay Diwas. We are seeing that through music, Indian Army and the locals of the Kargil are paying tributes to the war heroes and also the fallen soldiers. We just witnessed a ceremony where the hectares were used by the Indian Army to shower petals to pay tributes to these Kargil heroes. This is the place where this Kargil battle, which was of almost 3 months, were fought between the Indian Army, the soldiers of the Indian Army, the Air Force, the locals who participated to evict the intruders of the Pakistan from this very place. We are seeing the war veterans, the kids and kins of the fallen soldiers, the Veer Naris, Indian Army soldiers, and also the IAF people are here to serve, to pay their tributes and respect to these heroes. It's a heart-touching commemoration. The Kargil War was fought on from 8th of May till 26th of July 1999 against Pak intruders who were in the winter of 1998 transgressed into our territory across the line of control and occupied fortified defense overlooking the NH-1A in Dras, Kargil and Batalik sectors of Ladakh region with the nefarious aim of dominating all military and the civil movement on the highway. Braving unprecedented hardships, overcoming the hazards of near impossible terrain and severe climatic conditions, our gallant soldiers launched valiant attacks on well-fortified defended localities with relentless valor and enthusiasm, thus attaining an astonishing sounding victory. Despite suffering heavy casualties, the soldiers launched daring attack against with the small and the large weapons. Now let's take a report from Delhi from Piyush.
Well, yes, Zeenat, we are getting these pictures coming in from Kargil, and also in national capital. I am getting you the live pictures of Defence Secretary Ajay Kumar. He is taking part in wreath laying ceremony. He, along with Tri-Services Chief, is also present here. Army Chief General Manoj Pandey, Navy Chief Admiral R.R. Kumar, Air Force Chief Marshal V.R. Chaudhary, all are present here. And wreath laying ceremony is now underway. Defence Secretary Ajay Kumar is also taking part in paying tribute ceremony. You can see how the Tri-Services personnel are also moving ahead, and they are laying the wreath. All Tri-Services chiefs are also present here. Defence Secretary is also here. In few minutes from now, we will also see Defence Minister Rajnath Singh to reach here, and then he will also pay his tributes, take part in wreath laying ceremony. So today is the day where the nation is commemorating 23rd Kargil Vijay Diwas. In fact, today is the day where the nation is commemorating 23rd Kargil Vijay Diwas.
वायुसेना प्रमुख जनरल मनोज पांडे, नौसेना प्रमुख एडमिरल आर हरिकुमार और वायु सेना प्रमुख एडमिरल चीफ मार्शल V.R. अर्पित किया है। और जवान ज्योति के सामने आकर तीनों सेना प्रमुखों ने श्रद्धा अर्पित किया। वीर जवानों को याद किया।
pictures of Defence Secretary along with Vice Forces Chief taking part in a wreath-laying ceremony, and we are getting these pictures from National War Memorial. After this very short break, we'll get more and more pictures coming in from different parts of the country. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh will also be coming here. Stay tuned for more updates.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 9 years, with top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, masscom, telecom, hospitality, fashion and more. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
आप देख रहे हैं इस समय यहाँ पे अब पूरी की पूरी प्रिपरेशन की जा रही है। किसी भी समय यहाँ पे महाराष्ट्र के अगले मुख्यमंत्री आने वाले हैं।
ये मिनट टू मिनट आर टू आर पेट्रोलिंग इस समय दिल्ली की सड़कों पर पेट्रोलिंग हो रही है।
शरद पवार का पहले ट्वीट आया, उसके बाद यहाँ पे कंफर्मेशन हुआ है। एनसीपी एज अ पार्टी शपथ ग्रहण में यहाँ पे मौजूद होगी।
Wherever you are, whenever you want, Republic live stream with you everywhere. Republic live stream, India's #1 streaming news.
He heard the question this time very clearly. No answers from him. Our keys continue to be with his men. We faced intimidation here. We've been trying to get in touch with you and ask you several questions on the land deals that you had along with Priyanka Vadra and Robert Vadra. Why are you trying to avoid the cameras?
Once again, trying to get in a word with Mr. Vijay Mallya. Persistently been asking you only